This is Gene Key, Skyserve, Texas News. Texas health officials held a hearing concerning a little-known, quietly proposed law that requires fetal remains to be cremated or buried. The TexasTribune.org contributed to this report from Austin. Healthcare providers, funeral operators, and women's rights activists on Thursday tell Texas health officials that a rule requiring the cremation or burial of fetal remains will do little to improve public health and could be burdensome to women who miscarry and those seeking abortions. Following outcry over the new requirements, state health officials quietly proposed in July. The Texas Department of State Health Services held a public hearing on a rule change that would no longer allow abortion providers to dispose of fetal remains in sanitary landfills, instead allowing only cremation or internment of all remains, regardless of the period of gestation. The burial or cremation rule seemed to also apply to miscarriages. With little notice and no announcements, the proposal was published in the Texas Register on July 1st, triggering a 30-day public comment period. Texas Attorney General Paxton took a $100,000 gift from a company he was investigating. The Associated Press and KVUE.com contributed to this report from Austin. Texas Attorney General accepted a $100,000 gift to help pay his own criminal defense from the head of a medical imaging company that his office investigated for Medicaid fraud. Ken Paxton is charged with 2 felony counts of security fraud. He is accused of deceiving investors in a startup before becoming Attorney General in 2015. Preferred Images founder James Webb has given Paxton at least $100,000 to cover his legal bills. Webb's company settled a $3.5 million whistleblower lawsuit this month that was investigated by the U.S. Justice Department and Paxton's medical fraud unit. Paxton's office says federal prosecutors took the lead and that the Attorney General had no direct involvement. Pokémon Go is helping the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department introduce players to parks within the state. KVUE.com contributed to this report from Austin. The Texas Parks and Wildlife magazine has created a digital guide in its mobile app with a range of tips and tricks for gamers planning their next trip to a Texas state park. Parks are also hosting Pokémon hikes to help visitors find Pokémon and help them hatch their eggs in the game, which is done by walking a certain distance in the real world. The department is also encouraging players to share photos of characters caught in the parks by using the hashtag TexasParksPokemon on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Visit us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter at Skyserve News Service. This is Gene Key, Skyserve Texas News.